Welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, Tom Funk, and you are at the Michigan Trails Report podcast. And we have been putting my 50 Hikes in Michigan's Upper Peninsula book to podcast format. And yes, I am the author. And I thought I'd make this available in audio format, so when you're traveling and you're considering hiking and you forgot your book, just pop this into the old cassette deck and take a listen. I'd like to thank my friend Adam Main for providing the music. He is a musician in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Thank you, Adam. We are on hike number 45, which is in the Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore, and we're going to be hiking between Miners Beach and Miners Castle. And this is a 2.4 mile round trip. Take you about 2 hours to hike. There's some easy stretches, but there's also some steep climbing that's going to take place, or at least it's going to be strenuous. You're going to see sandstone, lots of sand, forest. You'll be ending up on a remote beach. Probably not going to need a trail map for this. It's well used and well marked, but if you're a map geek like myself, get your hands on the USGS 7.5 Indian Town or a North Country Trail map. There is a picnic area at both ends of the trail. There are bathrooms at both ends of the trail, ample parking at both ends of the trail. Beach access, of course, at Miners Beach, and there's also a little bit of an interpretive center at Miners Castle as well. Important note about pets, they are allowed on the beach and in the parking areas, but they're not allowed on the trail. So this is an area where dogs are not allowed. So the Miners Castle to Miners Beach route is a popular hike, to say the least. And most hikers start from Miners Castle, which is higher in elevation. Of course, this is perfectly acceptable. However, you may be better off starting at Miners Beach, laboring uphill, guaranteeing, guess what, that your return hike is a downhill one. The beach is popular with picnickers, and Miners Castle is probably the most popular destination in the Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore, and there is a significant climb in elevation and a very short stretch of trail, so plan accordingly. To find the trailhead from Munising, take H58 east to H13, turn north, and take it until it comes to an intersection. You can turn right, where it says Miners Beach, and take down to the bottom of the hill, or go left and park at the end of the road. Miners Beach recently underwent some major improvements to its parking lots and bathroom facilities, and park personnel have also installed many fences, walkways, and boardwalks to encourage visitors to stay on the improved paths and discourage going off trail. The habitat in this area is mostly jack pine forest with fragile lichens as ground cover. In dry weather, lichens are easily damaged, so always stay on the maintained trails and avoid using or creating social trails. From the west end of the parking area, take the wooden boardwalk straight to the beach. If you brought your charcoal and grilling supplies, you can enjoy a delicious barbecue, and make sure to invite me. There are numerous picnic tables and grills at both ends of the trail. The boardwalk ends in 1/10 of a mile at a sandy bluff where there is a set of wooden stairs leading to the beach. Resist the temptation to swim in the 45-degree water and turn left, keeping Lake Superior's cool waters on your right. The trail is scantily marked along the stretch, but rest assured that you are on the Lakeshore Trail, part of the North Country Trail in Pictured Rocks, and you are headed west towards Miners Castle. And within a few hundred feet, a small sign indicates you have 1 mile to Miners Castle. And the habitat along the beach is sandy. It sports mostly red pines and jack pines, and you'll see a lot of blueberry plants with berries later in the summer. So keep in mind, they are tasty, and your timing is going to have to be kind of right because a lot of people like to eat them. You'll come to a bluff, and you'll find many social trails nearby. Keep the bluff on your right as the trail bends away from the lake, and another sign, which will mark the North Country Trail to Miners River points, and then that will point you in the correct direction towards Miners Castle. The tread, well, it's wide, it's sandy, often covered in pine needles, making for a comfortable walk. And you're going to descend into a small gully and you find another sign directing you to Miners Castle. Cross Miners River and then walk parallel to the river on a wide trail, which has a few routes and spots. And just 0.2 of a mile from the Miners River, the trail starts its ascent up to Miners Castle. The escarpment is on your left and is forested mostly by paper birch and sugar maples. Once you cross over a small footbridge, your climb really begins. And for the next 0.7 of a mile, you'll be switchbacking, scrambling, pulling sand out of your shoes, trying not to lose your footing, trying not to lose your hiking partners. Because the remnants of the sandstone formation make up Pictured Rocks. Well, this is the sand that loosely fills in where roots are expected and end up between your toes. And with 0.1 of a mile remaining in your climb, you'll reach an asphalt trail coming in from the summit, intersecting with your rooty and sandy trail. And to the right is a close-up view of Miners Castle. Head to the left and switch back up to the grassy open area and an overlook that gives you a great pause as you think of how long nature took to create this wonder. So those who have hiked Miners Castle in the past, well, you'll notice that one of the turrets has disappeared. And although Miners Castle was not as famous as Old Man of the Mountain in New Hampshire, by the way, which collapsed on May 3rd, 2003, about, 6 months after I visited it. The castle lost its turret on April 13th, 2006. And that made news all over Michigan. Pretty much any time the rocks fall into the lake, it makes news. Because it's usually caught on film these days. So erosion is prevalent, and it is a force that created these geological features, but also wears them away. Enjoy Miners Castle, the picnic areas, the interpretive center, the overlooks. It's a nice little area to hang out, and when you're all done, just retrace your steps back downhill and return to your car. My number one rule about hiking hills is always start at the bottom, hike to the top, and then hike back down. I try really hard not to do it the other way around. Go up first and then down second. Great piece of advice. Consider that your pro tip. All right, thanks again for joining me. Our next hike is going to be just down the street, Miners Falls. Again, be sure to subscribe. Go to tomfunk.net. Check out all the shenanigans there. And we'll see you next time here on the Michigan Trails Report. Thanks for joining me.